Money packs are available at thousands of retailers nationwide. And 3, MasterCard Visa. Simply click on the link from the funding page, enter your account information, and fund your account. CapitalOTBPet.com. Log on today.
There's nothing like the thrill and excitement of horse racing. And now, the new home for all the best racing and all the top tracks is OTB-TV Digital Channel 8.2. Delivering each day the best racing across the country and around the world. Whether it's Saratoga or Belmont here in New York, Florida's Gulfstream Park, or California's Del Mar and Santa Anita racecourses, no other network brings you the grandeur of horse racing like OTB-TV on Digital Channel 8.2.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, OTB TV is the Capital Region's choice for the most comprehensive and informative coverage of thoroughbred and harness racing. OTB TV is the only area network delivering a steady viewership, reaching more than 540,000 households throughout the broadcast day and into the evening. Capital OTB's digital presence also plays a tremendous part in getting your message in front of potential customers. With more and more wagering moving to online, CapitalOTB.com can put your message in front of thousands of potential customers 24 hours a day. And with the addition of our new mobile app, new customers will see your message on all their digital devices. To see how affordably you can reach thousands of new customers, contact Capital OTB's Sales and Marketing Department today.
This is the OTB Television Network, a service of Capital District Off-Track Betting.
The quarter in a sparkling 21 3/5 seconds. Kelly Kipp with dazzling speed. The leader as they come to the top of the stretch. Boston Harbor second by 3. Danang Gray Raider and Rapid Robin. Say Florida Sandy swings into action on the outside. They're at the top of the stretch. It's still Kelly Kipp. He ran a half in 45 flat, and he's pulling away from Boston Harbor. Kelly Kipp opening up by 4 past the 8th pole, by 5 now. Boston Harbor second. Say Florida Sandy on the outside third. But a sparkling effort today from Kelly Kipp. Wow! He wins the Sanford by 8 lengths.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Down the Stretch. I'm Mark Asano. On this morning's show, we will briefly recap the opening day stakes from here at Saratoga. Then we'll begin our parade of guests by heading out to Southern California, where we welcome in Mr. Art Sherman, whose California Chrome returns to the races in today's San Diego. Then, here on set at Saratoga, Mr. Jerry Hollendorfer, whose brilliant champion filly Songbird will head tomorrow's Coaching Club American Oaks. And finally, Mr. Eddie Keneally, whose Bitchaman goes in today's Sanford. Along the way, we'll take a look back at a trio of Dianas of the past, all with a common theme, and we'll look ahead to the upcoming stakes here at the Spa. So all of that and much more if you stay with us for this, our July 23rd edition of the program, which is being sponsored by Parting Glass Racing. They won with I Love You Still late in the Belmont meet. For information on their partnerships, visit them on the web at partingglassracing.com. Call them locally at 587-5550 or toll free at 877-722-3946. Good morning once again on an absolutely gorgeous summer Saturday at Saratoga. One of our scheduled guests this morning, this is the first time this has happened in the more than 24 years we've been on the air. One of our guests is on the injured list. Saratoga native Matt Musiker, the agent for Javier Castellano, was going to join us this morning, but he threw his back out. Matt, we wish you a quick recovery, and we will have Matt on the program later on in the meet. We begin with a sad story. Tom McCarthy, the former school principal who owned and trained Bluegrass and Woodford Reserve winner General Quarters, died this past week at the age of 82. General Quarters was the only horse Tom McCarthy had in his barn, and he made it to the 2009 Kentucky Derby. We had Tom on in 2 years, 2009 and 2010, and our condolences go out to his family and friends. All right, a pair of stakes on the opening day card here at Saratoga, beginning with a Grade 3 Schuylerville for 2-year-old fillies at 6 furlongs. Number 4, Sweet Loretta, fifth on the far outside, despite getting away last, rallied on the far turn and drew off to an authoritative 4 1/4 length score for Todd Pletcher, his 6th Schuylerville win, and John Velasquez. An easy maiden winner in her debut and last at Monmouth. Sweet Loretta, a $750,000 daughter of Tappet, was the 4-1 third choice. Long Shot Fun finished second, while Harlan's Thunder wound up third. In the grassy Lake George, number 5, Ancient Secret, third going up after the leaders on the far outside, remained unbeaten with a 1 1/4 victory over stablemate Alicia's World, number 2. A New York-bred daughter of Contharos, Ancient Secret won for the 4th time in as many starts, while recording her first graded stakes for Chad Brown and Erod Ortiz Jr. Ancient Secret and Alicia's World were the first and second choices in the wagering. Opening day attendance yesterday here at Saratoga, just shy of 33,000. Keep in mind, as they did last year, so it is a fair comparison, NYRA counts all the season pass holders, whether they show up or not. The on-track handle of about 4.7 million was down about 5% from a year ago. The overall handle was actually up just a tad at 17.76 million. And considering that the fields were a bit shorter yesterday, that is a pretty positive thing. Erod Ortiz Jr., a 4-bagger on opening day. On the trainer's side, Chad Brown, Karen McLaughlin, and Jason Service all had 2 winners. All right, let me check with the guys in the truck. All right, our first guest this morning joins us from Del Mar as he readies California Chrome for his return to the races later this afternoon in the San Diego Handicap. We welcome back to Down the Stretch, Mr. Art Sherman. Art, Mark Cassano welcoming you back to the show.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Well, I'm well. How are you?
All right. Well, you got my buddy Jerry Hollendorfer right there. He told me not to mess it up. So I'm gonna try not to.
Oh, yeah, Jerry's sitting right here. How about what a way to start off down the stretch at the Saratoga meet. Art Sherman leading off, Jerry Hollendorfer batting second. Art, how's the big horse doing coming up to this afternoon, San Diego?
He went great this morning. I took him out at 5:30 and jogged him, and he's doing great.
Art, it appears from everything that I read that you were a little bit concerned about the way California Chrome was training in his last couple of workouts at Los Alamitos. Would that be accurate?
Well, one work just got me a little, but track bias, and it wasn't after I looked at the work, that day. I thought, well, it's not that bad. I thought he could go a little bit better, but the track was just a little deeper. Then I had a good work into him at Los Alamitos. After that, he went 1:39 and change, which was good. And then he blew out over here a week ago. And 59-1, and he looked super, so I'm just happy to get him started. It's, when the horse has had a lay up now, it's been 3 months since he's run, and, you're anticipating his first race back, which is tough. He got Dortmund in there. That's a great horse. I just don't, they got the similar styles of running, and I'm just hoping everything goes smooth.
Well, Art, we are taking a look at a piece of his July 16th workout at Del Mar, as you just said. Art, did this work put your mind at ease with the way he's coming into today's race?
I sure did. You know, the gallop out was good. He went 12-2 on the gallop out. And, you know, I was very pleased, and he looks physically great right now, you know. So I just want to have a clean trip. You know, I come back in one piece, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a little bit, and I can understand it, but a little bit nervous coming back off the long layoff, having him ready for this afternoon's San Diego. Would that be accurate?
Well, that would be accurate. You know, I'm a little anticipating that, you know, the race, but it's Chrome. You know, he comes out, he gets his game face on, and he runs. You know what I mean? He done that in the San Pasquale when I run him off of quite a long layoff too. You know, and he won that race. So maybe I'm a little over anxious, but you know, when you have a horse with plans of running them some big races later down the road, you know, you don't have to win, but I mean, I look forward to seeing him run a good race. Yeah.
Well, Art, we are about to take a look at a piece of his last start, the $10 million Dubai World Cup. As we pick it up for our audience, California Chrome will be stalking the pace on the far left-hand side of the screen. Art, talk about this wonderful performance.
Well, I got a little nervous when I saw the saddle slipping back on him. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, no, you know, you go all this way to have the saddle slip in a $10 million race. I had the palpitations for starting to go, you know. That's why then trainers get gray hair very easily, you know. That's probably the reason why, you know. But I saw he was running handily, and it was just an awesome race to see it. You know what I mean? He was wide on both turns, and he was in the clear, and that's the way he wants to run. And when he asked him, he hit him one time, and man, he can't throw it away from them horses. Which, you know, they had a great field of horses in that race. You know, as you could see, Frost had come back and just cakewalk, you know, out of that race.
What, did Victor tell you that the saddle slipped pretty early on, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I didn't pick it up till about the 3/8 hole. I said, gosh, it looked, you know, I'm sitting there, but I said, it looks, you know, it was at night, and you know, your vision is really not that great because you can see it on the television screens. You know, that's where I was down in the paddock watching the race, you know, and then I picked it up. I said, oh, my God, that saddle slipped quite a bit back. But it didn't seem to bother him, you know. He just kept his balance and was very professional, you know. He's such a cool horse to be around, you know. And then I got nervous again when he pulled him up. He jumped off of him. I said, oh, my God. I said, did something happen to him, you know? And he was just resetting the saddle in, you know.
You've been around the block a few times, Art. Could you have ever imagined in your early years that you would win a $10 million race?
Not after all the $1,500 ones I won. I'll tell you, that adds up to pretty good. You know, I mean, it was just not only that, you know, the people were just great back there. And you know, you have 60,000 people there with no wagering and applauding your horse. You know, it's quite a scene. You know, it's hard to describe. You know, and everybody was cheering him when he come back. And, you know, it's just one of them rare things that happen to you in life. And I'm just happy it was, you know, that we got to do it. Yeah.
I understand you were considering running California Chrome without Lasix. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, he's been running without Lasix in his last two races, you know, and you know, Europe, you can't use Lasix or Butte. You know, but, you know, Del Mar, it's lower sea level. The air is a lot heavier down here. And I did run him with just a minimal amount of Lasix. So, you know, I'm thinking coming back his first race, I'm going to wind up just giving him just a small dosage, which is not going to make him or break him. You know what I mean? It's just for my peace of mind, to be honest with you.
Today's San Diego, let's talk about some future races. Today's San Diego is going to take you to the Pacific Classic and a possible matchup with Beholder.
Yes, it was quite a scene over here the other day when we were You know, he gets a little remorse when he gets around the horses in the paddock, and he was acting up, you know, and being a proud stud that he is. And sure enough, Beholder was schooling there. And Richard said, "Get him out." I says, "Oh my God, I hope it's not going to be a test breeding now." You know? It was quite, you know, we laugh about it now, but it was not pretty, I tell you. He was snorting and rearing up, and oh my God, you know, he's quite a character, you know. But then when he gets on a racetrack, he quiets down and gets his game face on, and he's all business, you know.
Art, how are you going to get him from the Pacific Classic to the Breeders' Cup Classic? What race will you use in between?
You know, we might run in the Awesome again and just see how he comes out of the, you know, they got that $1 million bonus if you go for, you know, it's down the road, all these races. You know, he got the Breeders' Cup, got the Vegas, and that should be his last race. They're talking about retiring him at the Vegas race.
Yeah. Art, have you started to think what life might be like around the barn without California Chrome?
Oh, gosh. They'll probably forget my name, probably. But, no, you know, it's going to be great. I just hope I'm around to train his baby, you know, somewhere down the road. You know, but it's been great. You know, I'll miss him, of course. And, you know, we've got, me and my son both have a lifetime breeding to him, you know, so it'll be kind of nice to see what his babies look like. And, you know, life goes on. We saw a lot of good horses, and I was just privileged to have one, you know. So I'm all, you know, excited about it.
Well, it's been a heck of a run so far. Fortunately, we've got a number of races left to see him in, beginning later this afternoon in the San Diego. Art, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having joined us this morning on Down the Stretch. You want me to pass anything on to your pal, Mr. Hollendorfer?
Yeah, tell him don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. All right, Art, thank you. And good luck.
right.
Good luck this afternoon. Art Sherman, ladies and gentlemen, the trainer of California Chrome, and we are up to our first break. When we return, Art Sherman's pal, Jerry Hollendorfer, will join us as we go to the break. Today's main feature is the Diana. We're going to go back to 1998 and take a look at that year's renewal of the Diana. So the 98 Diana to the break. Back with Jerry Hollendorfer right after these messages.
They're in the gate. And they're off. CB and Wishful Thinking break together. Bia Valentine is there. Farthest out, Memories of Silver. Anti-Mame takes back in the early going. Under the line for the first time. Bia Valentine will be the leader. CB sits back in second. Memories of Silver is now third, and on the outside moving into the clubhouse turn. Then it's Wishful Thinking running in fourth. Rapid Selection is fifth on the outside. Innovate in a bit of traffic. Anti-Mame at the back of the pack, steady just a bit there on the first turn. Outside Anti-Mame is Cart Star into the backstretch, and Bia Valentine opens up. Bia Valentine runs a sharp quarter there in 23 flat and opens up by 5.5 lengths. CB running in second. Memories of Silver on the outside, unhurried and in hand third. Wishful Thinking is fourth. Then Rapid Selection. Anti-Mame is making a move down the backstretch. He was second last moments ago and now moves up to mid-pack. Following Rapid Selection's move down the backstretch, Bia Valentine remains the leader through a half and 47 seconds flat. The field is caught up to her. CB down inside second. The gray Rapid Selection on the outside third. Memories of Silver in and among horses fourth. Then Wishful Thinking down inside, and she's only 2.5 lengths from the lead. Anti-Mame will have to take a 4-wide trip as they make their way midway around the far turn. Bia Valentine in front. Wishful Thinking coming through on her inside. CB's on the outside. Memories of Silver just in behind. Anti-Mame spun wide as the field comes off the turn and into the stretch. Bia Valentine. Memories of Silver comes on through. Anti-Mame is there on the far outside. Wishful Thinking at the hedge into the final furlong. Bia Valentine. Memories of Silver and Anti-Mame. They're coming down to the final 16th now. It's Memories of Silver on the outside, and she's roused to the lead. It is Memories of Silver in front. Bia Valentine, Anti-Mame, And it is Memories of Silver, the winner by a length and a half, Via Valentine second, Auntie Mame third.
This is the OTB Television Network, a service of Capital District Off-Track Betting.
The big day is here. You've told everybody. You've dressed the part. Your heart is pounding in your chest. Your horse is rolling down the stretch. He's coming. He's closing. He's the winner! You're a winner with Parting Glass Racing. PartingGlassRacing.com. PartingGlassRacing.wow!
I got it. Watch me. I got it. Hey! I got something that makes me want to shout. I got something that tells me what it's all about. I got a move that tells me what to do. If you don't, brothers and sisters, then you won't know what it's all about.
Welcome back to Down the Stretch, everyone. I'm Mark Asano. My thanks to Art Sherman once again for having joined us in Memories of Silver. For Jimmy Toner and Jerry Bailey over B.A. Valentine and Auntie Mame to capture the 1998 Diana. Our next guest has brought the undefeated champion Songbird to the spa for tomorrow's coaching club, American Oaks, and we are absolutely thrilled to have him this morning. We welcome back to Down the Stretch Mr. Jerry Hollendorfer. Jerry, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
Your pal Art Sherman said, and I quote, "Don't screw it up." He just did a wonderful interview, so you're under a little pressure here following Art.
I'm under no pressure from Art.
How long have you guys known each other?
Many years. He was my neighbor for many years when I was first started out training. So I know the whole family, and we're all pretty close.
That's some ride they've been on with California Chrome.
Yeah, and it's nice, you know, Art's, I think, 75 years old, so nice to have a horse like that when any age, but especially at his age. I think it makes him feel really good, and it keeps him in the game.
Yes, absolutely. All right, let's talk Songbird. First time to the East Coast for your wonderful filly. Minor problems on the flight. How did she ship? How she acclimated to Saratoga?
Fine. A little bit longer flight than we wanted. They were delayed at the beginning when a horse was taken off the plane, but she got in and was happy right away and settled in nicely and galloped nicely over the track.
So what have you done with her since she arrived here on Wednesday?
Well, I jogged her one day and galloped her the last 2 days and stood in the gate yesterday. Took her over among the maniacs to the paddock yesterday, and she handled that fine. So we'll take her one more time today in the 5th race and see how she does.
Oh, really? You're going to take her over?
Yeah, I always school her twice. So.
Okay. But she handled the maniacs well yesterday?
We're school crazy from California.
Okay.
Everybody schools a lot there.
Saratoga has been referred to, and rightly so, as the graveyard of champions. My favorite, Secretariat, got beat here, and just last year, American Pharoah got beat. As a trainer, do you ever think about those things?
Well, as a trainer, I think a lot more good horses have come here and won than good horses that have come here and were beaten. If anybody wants to concentrate on the negative, I guess you could do that, but I'm not. I never think like that, and I wouldn't have come here if I didn't think we had a chance.
How has Songbird changed physically from 2 to 3?
Well, she's bigger and broader and a lot stronger than she was last year. And, you know, you don't have to believe me. You could ask Mike Smith. He could tell you she's a lot stronger this year.
You had a little blip following the Santa Anita Oaks back in April, which caused her to miss the Kentucky Oaks. What happened?
Okay, she got a temperature a few days after her race, and you know, if it would have gone away really fast, then we would have kept the Oaks in the eyesights. But you know, temperature lingered for a while, and so we decided, you know, I talked it over with Mr. Porter, and we just decided to give her all the time that she needed until she was 100%, and then look for another race. And as it turned out, time-wise, the Summertime Oaks came up in the right spot, and we ran in there and won.
We're about to take a look at the aforementioned Summertime Oaks. For our audience, Songbird is number 4 in here. And Jerry, for the first time since I believe the Del Mar debutante in her second start, she wasn't in front early, but that turned out to be a benefit, didn't it?
Well, it showed that that she could do that, which we always thought that she could do anything that we wanted her to. Anyway, I mean, if she was behind horses, I think she would rate kindly, and as you can see on the film here, she's rating kindly, and just, you know, looking to go a little bit faster than the lead horse.
Now, they're going to go a half mile in here in the Summertime Oaks in 45.95. So obviously she settled and rated off those kinds of fractions. But tomorrow, for instance, short field, inside post, quick run to the first turn, I'm assuming you expect her to be in front early tomorrow?
You know, I don't expect anything. You know, you know, Mike and I'll talk and make a little plan, and then he knows that when the gate opens, if something changes, then he can change too. Because in this race that we're watching, we thought we would be on the lead, and then it didn't turn out that way, and so it worked out that actually Mike would prefer to ride from off the pace, but tomorrow he'll probably get on his way, and if somebody goes crazy on the outside of him, he'll make an adjustment.
Mike Smith has ridden some absolutely great and Hall of Fame fillies in his career. He has talked about marveling at how intelligent Songbird is. He said you teach her something once, the next time she does it superbly. Tell us about that.
Well, if he doesn't know, nobody knows. So that's all I have to say about that.
But from a trainer standpoint,
no, but I mean, she always got everything early, you know, the gate, everything that we did with her. So, you know, we think she can adjust and do anything.
Her stride, her action looks to me to be just superbly well balanced.
Well, that was Mike's comment in the Daily Racing Form article that just came out in, I believe, yesterday's form, is that she, you know, she has a good mechanic and doesn't have any wasted motion.
Let's talk about her schedule following tomorrow's coaching club. You're obviously here for both the coaching club and the Alabama.
Well, that was the plan, so, you know, we hope that the plan works out. I think Mr. Porter particularly wanted to win these two races, and I agreed with him that that would be a good goal to have. We considered one other race, and then for various reasons we decided not to run in the Delaware Handicap, including the fact that it was against Older and it was 1.25 miles, and we thought that it would be better to do 1 1/8 and then try the 1.25 miles in the Alabama if we do good here. So we have to do good tomorrow.
We're in the middle of her 3-year-old season. She hasn't been beyond 8.5 furlongs yet. What are your thoughts about stretching her out?
I think the more distance, the better for her, and Mike thinks the same thing. So, I mean, we could definitely, if we ran in the Delaware Handicap, I would have been pleased to try to go 1.25 miles then. I think she's ready to do that.
Wow. Now, Mr. Porter has mentioned the Cotillion as a start after the Alabama. So you're going to stay here in the East. That's the plan for the next 3 races?
We have some tentative plans, and we always like to discuss things. And that's a big race, $1 million race.
Right.
The Cotillion, we've run in it before. And, you know, good track to run on, Parks. So we want to look at that race. So if everything falls into line, that might be a race that we would strongly consider.
Do you think she'll need a race between the Cotillion and the Breeders' Cup Distaff?
I don't know.
That's
I
too
don't
far
want to
out.
worry about the
I know. I understand.
Coaching Club American Oaks tomorrow, and then I can worry about all the other stuff later.
On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being as good as it can get, how pleased are you with her at this point for tomorrow's coaching club?
You know, she's coming in 10 points, and her last work was superb. Mike was thrilled with it, and so we, you know, we have no excuse. We're bringing a 100% horse here to Saratoga.
All right, couple of things before we let you go. Today at Del Mar, you run Stays in Vegas in the grassy San Clemente. Tricky post this afternoon. Tell us about Stays in Vegas.
Well, we have Alex Fleece riding, a guy that's ridden a lot of grass races and won a lot of grass stakes, and superb athlete. So, you know, we didn't like the post, but there's nothing we can do about that. So Alex will get her out of there and try to make her comfortable. That is a filly that we're confident will do any kind of rating that we want her to. So he just has to get a good position and watch the pace and make his determination when he's going to let her run.
She's never run poorly on grass, has she?
No, and actually she's a horse that just absolutely does whatever the rider wants. If he wants her to stay on the rail, she'll do that. If he wants her to wait for a seam, she'll do that. If he wants her to go outside, she'll do that. So pretty confident in that filly. Carrying high weight, which we don't like, but also nothing we can do about it.
No. You can complain to the racing secretary, but it's not going to do a lot of good.
Might have complained a little bit already.
Your longtime go-to rider, fellow Hall of Famer Russell Bays, retired back in June. You two won a staggering number of races together. What made Russell Bays so special?
I don't know, a lot of different things. First of all, he's a good person. Secondly, he had a good work ethic. And, well, firstly, he had the talent to win a lot of races, and then he made the most of his opportunities. So, you know, it wasn't hard working with him. He was always willing to work horses and make suggestions and work with me. And, you know, I had a really good time working with him, and never ever legged him up on a horse where I wasn't confident that he would give me a good ride.
How about that?
Never one time.
There's no possible way to replace a Russell Bays, so what do you do?
Well, the young guys up there, they have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, if they want to make use of that opportunity, they're going to have to step up and get the job done. And so it makes it harder for me in Northern California. But, you know, there's some good young riders up there, and we'll be flexible and work with them. And if they want to work with us, we'll continue to ride a few of the guys up there and see what we can do.
Well, Jerry, we are absolutely thrilled to have had you on the program this morning, and we are thrilled to have Songbird here for tomorrow's Coaching Club American Oaks. And we want to say thank you by giving you this $100 gift certificate to Jacob and Anthony's American Grill. It's at 38 High Rock Avenue, right in downtown Saratoga. It is a wonderful place for a celebration. I had the Cabernet filet the other night. I didn't leave any on my plate. It was absolutely outstanding. So please take that with our regards. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule this morning, and good luck tomorrow in the Coaching Club.
Thanks. We'll do our best.
Jerry Hollendorfer, ladies and gentlemen, and we are up to our next break. When we return, Mr. Eddie Keneally will join us. As we go to the break, turn the clocks back 12 years. We are going to take a look at the 2004 Diana to the break. So the 2004 Diana coming up. Back with Eddie Keneally right after these messages.
And they're off. Wonder Again was off to an uneventful start. Ocean Drive and Sand Springs, who's down on the hedge. Risk Averse was away running fourth. Then Spice Island, Hillary Lee, and Intercontinental has been taken well in hand by Jerry Bailey, and she is now already 10 lengths from the lead. And Sand Springs leads the field into the first turn over the off-going here. She steps clear to lead by 3 lengths. Ocean Drive runs along in second, and Wonder Again is an unhurried third. Risk Averse is fourth on the outside by 3, and then Hallery Lee followed on the inside by Spice Island. And the trailer is Intercontinental, and she is resenting the restraint of Jerry Bailey, tossing her head about as she rounded the first turn. They're moving up the backstretch here. A 23-3 opening quarter for Sand Springs, who's out there alone on the lead by a half a dozen lengths now. Ocean Drive is running along in second. Wonder Again is now third. And Intercontinental has been given a bit more raid, and she's moving now on the far outside, just alongside Risk Averse with 4 furlongs to go here. Farther back, Hallery Lee, and the trailer is Spice Island. The half went in 47 3/5 seconds over the yielding course here. And they are gaining on Sand Springs. The lead's down to a length. Ocean Drive is second. Risk Averse right there third on the outside. Wonder Again is only 2.5 lengths from the lead, and she's right there in behind the lead down toward the inside. And Intercontinental still in with a good chance as the field turns for home, and the hedge opens up here for Wonder Again, and she strikes the lead at the top of the stretch, and Wonder Again is opening up by 3. Ocean Drive, Sand Springs, Risk Averse giving chase. Intercontinental, not today. She'll be well beaten. Here's Wonder Again with a whipping effort in the rain at Saratoga to win the Diana by a half dozen emphatic lengths over Risk Averse and Ocean Drive.
This is the OTB Television Network, a service of Capital District Off-Track Betting.
Shh. Can you hear it? It's the sound of excitement. Something we infuse into every grape that goes into our exceptional full-bodied wine. That was closer than I thought it would be. Now, if you'll excuse me. 14 hands, where great times are made.
In a recent study of some of the top online wagering sites, Capital OTB won big in total player rewards, far surpassing some of the best-known wagering sites in America. While other rewards programs simply offer you points redeemable for gift cards, Capital OTB's rebates are paid to you in actual cash. Plus, Capital OTB gives you full and immediate access to your money. So if all you're getting now are points and gift cards, join Capital OTB Player Rewards today and get cash back. Visit CapitalOTBBet.com and sign up today.
Welcome back to Down the Stretch, everyone. I'm Mark Asano. My thanks to Jerry Hollendorfer once again for having joined us. And Wonder Again for Jimmy Toner and Edgar Prado by 5 3/4 over the diminutive Risk Averse and Ocean Drive to win the 2004 Diana. Final guest this morning recently upset the Grade 1 Stephen Foster. Later today, he's going to look for his first ever graded stakes victory here at Saratoga with Bitumen in the Sanford. We welcome back to Down the Stretch Mr. Eddie Keneally. Eddie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Did I pronounce it correctly?
Bitumen, correct.
Bitumen, okay. Let's talk Bitumen. Tell us about him. How had he trained up to his debut?
Trained like a really professional horse. We loved him from the beginning. Great mind, great attitude. Just came out of the 2-year-old sale perfectly. No issues, physical or mental. He was very straightforward. Bought him in March in Ocala, and he didn't take a bad step since then.
Wow, that's wonderful. In a moment, we are going to have a shot of him on the screen. Describe him for our audience. What's he look like physically?
He's a medium-sized, well-balanced horse. He's got a lot of quality. He's a beautiful mover. Just got a beautiful head. Just got a really good mind for the game. Very, very intelligent horse. And just a cool horse to be around.
That's wonderful. We are about to take a look at his lone start. Maiden race at Churchill back on June 30th. Bitumen number 2, but he'll be breaking from the tricky inside post. Eddie, talk about this if you would.
Drew the rail, but came out of there pretty good. Just kind of got shuffled back a little bit the first few strides, but he was quick into his stride and loomed up to be real close to the lead in a short period of time. Just ran very professionally, not intimidated down on the inside, and now as you can see, he's hit the front without any encouragement from Brian Hernandez. And Brian rode him with some confidence, but of course the horse is an intelligent horse, and he's very well, just a pro really for an unraced horse at that time. He acted very professionally all the way through. So now he's been joined on the turn by a couple of pretty nice horses to his outside, and the favorite looms up 4 wide, and it looks like it's going to be a real horse race here, and there's 4 of them going to be across the track turning for home. And our horse is still in hand, traveling nicely. They went a half in 46 and 2, but he's doing it quite easy. And Brian just shook him up turning for home, and in a matter of strides, he went away from those nice horses like a real horse, a really good horse does, and just very professional. And maybe he won with a little in hand and galloped out good.
This final quarter, now I know that the first half was on the conservative side, but this final quarter was 23.12 in his debut, and it appeared, and we're going to see it, that he galloped out pretty well.
Yeah, I think, well, we've always thought that he's a horse for down the road. He's a 2-turn horse. We were always thinking in his training and everything else. We weren't certain that he'd win his first out sprinting. We felt like he'd run really, really well and do everything right, and then maybe come back later on and be a better horse going around the ground. We still think that, but certainly for now, racing on the dirt, the races are still at 1 turn. They're still 6, 6.5. Pretty soon they'll be 7. And before long, there'll be 2-turn dirt races. So hopefully that's where we're going to be in 2 months' time.
What did Brian Hernandez have to say to you after the race?
He was really impressed with the horse, about his demeanor, about his attitude, and how he behaved like a horse that had already had a few runs. So he's just a really smart, switched-on horse, and he was in awe of the horse, actually. He felt like it was a huge performance.
How's he trained since that debut, particularly the work he had over the track here?
He's trained great since he ran. I gave him a work at Churchill before we shipped, and he just went to maintenance half in 49 and did it so well. And then I worked him here at Saratoga last Sunday, get him a feel for the racetrack and see how he liked it. And he loved it. He went a half in 48 and change in company on the inside, just waiting on another horse, and galloped out ahead of the other horse and without being asked to run. He did it well in hand. So he's done really well since he ran.
So you're confident he's had enough time off between the debut and today?
You never know for sure if a horse has had enough time off between races until you run him back. I mean, there's no obvious sign that he's not ready to run back in 23 days. It is a little quick turnaround for a big effort and a big number that he ran the first time. Sometimes you worry about running a horse back too soon after a big effort, but he hasn't shown us any indication yet that he's going to regress.
What would it mean to you to win your first graded stakes here at Saratoga?
It'd be fantastic. You know, we've run in some stakes races over the years, and we've been placed in a couple of graded stakes here. Actually placed in a couple of Grade 1 stakes here over the years. But to win one here would be phenomenal. And obviously, if we were to win it, we'd be pointing towards hopeful at the end of the meet. And yeah, it'd be nice to be the horse to do it for us.
Well, I mentioned earlier that you upset the Grade 1 Stephen Foster. You did it wire to wire with Braidster. As our audience takes a look at it, Eddie, tell us about this effort.
Braidster has been a solid horse for a long time, but had never won a Grade 1 stake, and he'd been a multiple graded stakes winner, including a Grade 2. But this race being a Grade 1, and our horse is a speed type horse, so we opted to take a shot because the race was not loaded with speed. It looked on paper like he was the lone speed for the race, and as it turned out, Joe Bravo gave him a perfectly timed ride. He was the lone speed, and he went wire to wire, and they were gaining on him, but they didn't catch him. And you know, at age 6, he wins his first Grade 1. Great for the horse. It's great to have one like that, because he's been a hard-knocking horse since he was a 2-year-old. We had him all his career, and he broke his maiden as a 2-year-old, so he's been on the go for a long time, and he's as good as ever, maybe even better.
And the key was Joe got him to relax so nicely. I think the second and third quarters, 48 seconds, and that was the key to him finishing up so well.
With a horse like him, pace is the key. Pace, pressure. Nobody took him out of his comfort zone. He was able to relax on the front end. And a horse like him can get brave when they're allowed to dictate the pace and do just what he did. So he had something left for the finish, and thankfully he was able to hold them off. There was some quality horses behind him.
Certainly were. How'd he come out of the Stephen Foster? What are you looking at?
He came out great, and he's here at Saratoga, and he trained here the other day, and he'll probably breeze again on Monday. And he's possible for the Whitney. We'll see how that shapes up, and he's also possible for the Grade 2 Monmouth Cup at Monmouth Park on Haskell Day, which he won last year. So they're the two options, and he'll run in one of those.
Before we let you go, you've got a runner in today's second race. It's the maiden One of a Kind, who was a closing second in the slop in its lone start. Tell us a little bit about One of a Kind.
One of a Kind's got a future. He's a real nice horse. He's the son of Lemon Drop Kid. We ran him 5.5 in the mud. Didn't break sharp, was last all the way, and came flying home and was beaten a neck or a head in a pretty quick time in a good maiden race at Churchill. We think he's going to stretch out. We know he's going to stretch out, and we think he's going to like grass. He's going 1.16 miles on the turf today. It's a strong group of maidens. There's some nice horses in there, but I think he'll run well.
Has he ever trained on grass?
Never.
So what gives you the feeling, beyond the pedigree, that he'll handle turf?
Well, beyond the pedigree, obviously the pedigree is one part of it, but I think the way he moves, also the way he relaxes and he works and he gallops, he's a horse. Obviously, to stay 1.16 miles with a young horse, they have to settle and they have to relax, and he's that type of horse. He's an easy horse to ride, and I think Javier Castellano will get on with him real well, and I think he'll be closing.
Javier has a tendency to get along with most of them very well.
He certainly does, and we're happy to have him.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Eddie, as always, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having joined us this morning on Down the Stretch. We want to say thank you by giving you this $100 gift certificate to your friend Jimmy Durani's restaurant, Jacob and Anthony's, American Grill, 38 High Rock Avenue, downtown Saratoga. They are open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. So please take that on us and enjoy a nice lunch or dinner. I know that you got a pretty nice grass filly for Jimmy, don't you, that unfortunately got hurt?
Well, we do actually, and she's on the farm right now. Bold Contender, nice filly. She had a little bit of a setback when she ran at Belmont a couple of weeks ago, but she'll be back for the fall, we believe.
Good.
And we're happy with the prognosis. We think she's going to recover 100%. And we've got another nice Warfront horse for him, a horse called Decent, and I entered him today for Wednesday, so I'm hoping he gets in on Wednesday.
Good. Thank you for
having
joined us this morning on Down the Stretch. All the best later this afternoon.
Thanks so much.
Eddie Keneally, ladies and gentlemen. We are up to our final break. When we return, we'll take a look ahead to the upcoming stakes here at the Spa. As we go to this break, the 2012 Diana. Pretty special performance in here. So we'll take a look at the 2012 Diana to the break. Back with more right after these messages.
And they're off. Hungry Island on the outside, down toward the inside, Tappett's Fly and Law of the Range. So Tappett's Fly and Law of the Range will vie for the lead. Winter Memories in the clear on the outside, now running third early on here. And Zagora's fourth toward the rail. Then at the back of the pack are Dream Peace and Hungry Island. So Tappett's Fly will take them along here. She's established a lead, being prompted by Law of the Range as they move into the clubhouse turn. And then Zagora and Winter Memories alongside her. Dream Peace still lingering at the back of the pack. She's well held. There is Dream Peace by Julian Leperoux and Hungry Island on the outside. So Tappett's Fly is loose on the lead. The opening quarter was up in 23 1/5 seconds. Tappett's Fly on top. And Law of the Range is prompting from the outside, now second through a solid half mile there in 47 2/5 seconds. Defending champion here in the Diana, Zagora. Third on the inside of Winter Memories. Half mile to go. Hungry Island at the back of the pack along with Dream Peace. Tappett's Fly still on top. Rajiv Mirage asking Law of the Range for more run, but no real response from Law of the Range. Zagora's cruising just in behind Tappett's Fly, and Winter Memories now is kicking in on the far outside. Down toward the rail, Dream Piece, and she's got a lot of run left. And Hungry Island as the field comes to the top of the stretch. Tappets Fly, Winter Memory swings into action on the outside. Dream Piece down toward the rail. Segura's struggling. Oh, look at Winter Memory's kick away. But Dream Piece is going to try to tackle her in the final furlong. Winter Memories, a 2.5 length lead, followed by Dream Piece coming down to the line. And Tappets Fly under the finish. It is Winter Memories. Victorious again. Winter Memories does it. And wins by a length and a half. Dream Piece was second and close third.
This is the OTB Television Network, a service of Capital District Off-Track Betting.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Hey, race fans, head down to the all-new Clubhouse Racebook and get in the game. With live horse racing on more than 250 flat-screen TVs, state-of-the-art wagering terminals, fantastic food and drinks, an amazing Vegas-style atmosphere with seating for nearly 900 of your closest friends. Conveniently located at 711 Central Avenue, right off Exit 5 of I-90 in Albany, the Clubhouse Racebook is the better choice.
Welcome back to Down the Stretch, everyone. I'm Mark Asano. My thanks to Eddie Keneally once again for having joined us. And Winter Memories, the third Diana for trainer Jimmy Toner, and you saw them all going to the internal breaks this morning. Javier Castellano over Dream Piece and Zagora to capture the 2012 renewal. Jimmy has Recepta going in this afternoon's, Diana, and we wish him the best. All right, a couple of news items before we get to a look at the upcoming stakes. Stradivari, talented colt who was 4th in the Preakness and 5th in the Belmont, has been retired due to fractures in his right front leg. Right now, they are just worried about saving him. Ran just 5 times in his career, but you just had the feeling that with time and maturity, he could develop into something special. Unfortunately, that will not happen. And Ironicus, who I think is the second best turf miler in the country behind Tepin, has suffered a foot injury and will miss the 4-star Dave. As trainer Shug McGahee is hopeful that they'll be able to get to the Bernard Baruch at the end of the meet. And Celestine, who ran the race of her life in winning the Grade 1 just a game and last, also has come down with some foot problems. Bill Mott said he just couldn't get her prepared for today's Diana. Hopefully we will see Celestine later in the meet. All right, let's take a look at the Saratoga Stakes schedule over the upcoming week, beginning this afternoon with a stakes doubleheader, the Diana and the Sanford. The Diana is a Grade 1, but the race has only one Grade 1 winner in it, Miss Temple City. And you know, this has been happening a lot with Grade 1 turf stakes this year. You know, there's not a lot of true Grade 1 horses, but the Diana will go this afternoon, as will the Sanford, a field of 5 going in the Sanford. Tomorrow, the Coaching Club American Oaks, which will be headed by Songbird. Karina Mia from Bill Mott appears to be heading into the race very well, but a short field of 5, and Songbird drew the inside post. On Monday, it's the Lucky Coin, a 5.5 furlong turf sprint, and the consistent undrafted, who was 6th in his most recent start in the Diamond Jubilee at Ascot, has drawn the outside post. Now next Wednesday, the Honorable Miss for fillies and mares going 3/4 of a mile. 18 nominations in there, including last year's Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare Sprint heroine Wavell Avenue, who has not come back to that form this year thus far, and Hot City Girl. Next Thursday is the John Morrissey for New York Breds, going 6.5, 17 nominations for the John Morrissey. Next Friday, the Curlin. For 3-year-olds, non-winners of a graded stakes over a mile in 2016, 34 nominations for the Curlin, going a mile and an eighth. And next Saturday, 4 stakes on the card. The Jim Dandy for 3-year-olds at a mile and an eighth, 22 nominations in there, including Belmont Stakes, first and second finishers, Creator and Destin. Exaggerator, the beaten favorite in the Belmont, is nominated for the Jim Dandy, and Kieran McLaughlin may bring Mo Heyman back in the Jim Dandy. The Amsterdam for 3-year-olds sprinting at 6.5 has 22 nominees. The A.G. Vanderbilt for older horses sprinting now. This may come up a bit of a weak grade 1. 18 nominations to the A.G. Vanderbilt. And finally, the Grassy Bowling Green at a mile and 3/8. 22 nominations to the Bowling Green. If Flintshire runs, everybody else is likely running for second money. So there's a look at the upcoming Saratoga Stakes over the next week. All right, time to thank everyone who helped get this week's show on the air here at the Backstretch on a beautiful Saturday morning at Saratoga. Thanks to our associate producer, Julie Hoxie, as well as Brian Dorenzo and Mick Richards. Back in the control room in Schenectady, Pat Peretta directed and handled pre-production. Pete Persico on audio. Thanks to our guests, Art Sherman, Jerry Hollendorfer, and Eddie Keneally. And thanks to our sponsors, Parting Glass Racing, Saratoga's original racing partnership. Visit them on the web at partingglassracing.com. Call them locally at 587-5550 or toll free at 877-722-3946. And by Jacob and Anthony's American Grill. They sponsor our guest segments. They are located at 38 High Rock Avenue in downtown Saratoga Springs, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Coming up in just a couple of moments, Seth Merrow will be back in a conversation with NYRA President Chris Kay. As we leave you this morning, the close. Well, a little bit of the equine Songbird winning last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Music by the late, great Ava Cassidy of the same name. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this weekend here at Saratoga. Have a wonderful upcoming week. And from all of us here at Down the Stretch, we'll see you next week.
Birds keep singing like they know the score, and I love you, I love you, I love you like never before.
You're watching OTB TV, a service of Capital Off Track Betting.